Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? Welcome back. This is normally where I would tell you that we're doing our themed week. It is actually a week past when we would normally be doing our themed horror movie week. This month entirely got ahead of me, so today we are just going to take that theme. August theme was anthologies. So today we are going to take that theme and I'm going to give you a list of 10 anthologies I guarantee you haven't seen. If you've been here for a while, you know I am a huge fan of anthology films. I will watch them even if they are bad. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. There is definitely a letterbox list corresponding to anthologies and anthologies you may have never heard of. We will just keep adding to it as time goes on. So let's get right into this top 10 today. Starting off all the way at the back with 1964's Kwaidan. Taking its title from an archaic Japanese word meaning ghost story, this anthology adapts 4 folk tales. A penniless samurai marries for money with tragic results. A man stranded in a blizzard is saved by Yuki the Snow Maiden, but his rescue comes at a cost. Blind musician Hoichi is forced to perform for an audience of ghosts. And an author retells the story of a samurai who sees another warrior's reflection in his teacup. Alright, at number 9, we have the more recent Welcome Week, a college horror anthology from 2024. After his 4 siblings mysteriously die in their first weeks of college, a paranoid freshman must put his fears aside when a masked killer picks him as her next victim. Okay, up at number 8, this next one is a little harder to find. I know Bleeding Skull put out a copy of this, but let's talk about The Other Dimension from 1992. In this horror anthology, a man plots abduction of the woman who's left him, another plots possession of a woman who's leaving him, and a third plots incorporation of a woman who is no longer living. Moving into Campfire Tales from 1997, this one actually stars James Marsden and Amy Smart, super young roles. But as the story goes, teens entertain one another by telling an anthology of famous urban legends with a modern twist, including makeout point, monsters, psychopaths, and ghosts. This next anthology actually comes in under 80 minutes, and I think that's pretty rare, but this one is called Hellarious from 2019. Introducing Hellarious, a once-in-a-lifetime feature collection that brings together 7 of the most legendary horror comedy shorts ever made. The stories from some of the world's best genre filmmakers feature a hilarious blend of zombie wives, amateur Satanists, reverse werewolves, cannibal lunch ladies, and more, along with gut-busting gags, gross-outs, and gore. And the only creative way that I can move into the next one is a word that rhymes with gore: lore from 2023. 4 young thrill-seeking friends book a horror-themed camping excursion led by Darwin, of course, a strange and eccentric guide who one night encourages them all to tell their scariest story around a fire. As they recount tales of sinister spirits and malevolent demons, the group soon realizes that these stories will have a very real consequence for them all. At number 4, from 1994, we have Future Shock. A psychiatrist uses virtual reality to probe the minds of 3 unsuspecting patients, unleashing horrific psychic forces in the process. Alright, final 3, Worst Laid Plans from 2022. 3 very different tales of vacation-themed spookiness are presented in this horror anthology adapted from the best-selling book by Grindhouse Press. So there is a whole book. There is more to this story than meets the eye if you are interested. At number 2, this would have been my review of the week. So let's talk about Deadtime Stories. From 2009, an anthology of 3 horror stories presented by George A. Romero. In Valley of the Shadow, a woman searches for her missing husband in the jungles of South America, only to be in great danger herself. In Wet, a lonely man finds an empty box on the beach and opens it with disastrous results. In House Call, a doctor is called to a rural farmhouse to diagnose a strange ailment. Now, Tom Savini is one of the main directors on this. I feel like this had so much potential. It was a made for TV. This is like an episode 1. It could have been more. It never was. So cool. But let's finish off this whole list with the most recent release, with Freaky Tales from 2024. I loved Freaky Tales. In 1987 Oakland, a mysterious force guides the town's underdogs in 4 interconnected tales. Teen punks defend their turf against Nazi skinheads, a rap duo battles for hip-hop immortality, a weary henchman gets a shot at redemption, and an NBA All-Star settles the score. Now, I could go on all day about anthologies and things you haven't seen, but I would like you guys to let me know in the comments if there's an anthology you think that I've never seen. Trust me, I've seen some questionable things. The United States of Horror, part 1 and 2, questionable. But anyways, our next video here, I'm really excited about. It is our next side character deep dive on Tatum Riley from Scream. After that, we will definitely be talking more disturbing scenes in horror, so stay tuned. We have so much more for the rest of August. Thanks for always hanging out and enjoying the content here. If you would like to support me any further, we do have an online store where I do sell all of my handmade, hand-painted artwork. You can always check that out. Everything linked down below. I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe, stay spooky. Sayonara, spooky fam.